What if I told you that everything you've been taught about studying is wrong? Sounds harsh, right? But it's true. Most of us learn to memorize like robots, repeat like parrots, and force ourselves to study even when we don't understand a thing. The result? Endless hours wasted, frustration piling up, and zero real progress. But here's the good news. There's a better way. A way to learn 4 times faster without being a genius or spending your whole life buried in books. Do you struggle to focus? Do you feel like you study for hours but make almost no progress? Relax, you're not the only one. We've all been there, fighting with techniques that simply don't work. But what nobody told you is that learning can actually be surprisingly easy, even fun, if you understand how your mind works and use the right strategies. This isn't about studying more. It's about studying smarter. In this video, you're going to discover the secrets of superlearning, the fundamentals of neurolearning, and how to activate a growth mindset to turn yourself into a learning machine. It doesn't matter if you want to master a language, play an instrument, learn to code, or simply study faster with less effort. What you're about to discover will give you an advantage most people never have. And once you know it, there's no going back. The first step is to change how you see learning. Most people think learning is about talent or intelligence, but that's a myth. The truth is, learning fast has little to do with IQ and everything to do with how you train your mind. When someone believes they're just not good at studying, they've already lost the battle before it begins. Changing that mindset is the foundation of accelerated learning. If you start by believing you can learn anything, you're already halfway there. Think of someone you admire, someone who seems naturally good at everything. Here's the secret. That person wasn't born knowing anything. They simply learned how to learn. They adopted a growth mindset, understanding that mistakes are not failures. They're part of the process. So if you're failing right now, don't give up. Your brain needs repetition, mistakes, and adjustments to grow stronger. Learning isn't a destination. It's a journey. And yes, it can actually be enjoyable. Imagine you start learning guitar today. At first, your fingers won't cooperate. The notes will sound terrible, and you'll feel clumsy. But if you practice for just 20 minutes a day with the right attitude, in a few weeks you'll play your first song. The same goes for languages, coding, personal finance, or any skill you can think of. The secret isn't doing it perfectly from the start. It's trusting the process, believing that consistency beats talent every time. And now comes a moment of choice. You can ignore this, scroll away, and go back to watching pointless challenges, random dances, or so-called gurus promising to make you rich in 3 days. Or you can stop for a second, like this video, subscribe, and show YouTube that you're done wasting time. You're here for what makes you stronger, what transforms you. It's a small decision, but it changes everything you see from now on. Let's talk about one of the most powerful laws of smart learning, the 80-20 rule. Not everything you study is equally valuable. According to the Pareto principle, 20% of your efforts produce 80% of your results. The problem is that most people focus on the wrong 80%, wasting energy on things that don't move the needle. If you want to learn skills faster, you must identify and focus on that key 20%. For example, if you're learning English, you don't need to memorize endless lists of irregular verbs from day one. By mastering the 100 most common words and practicing everyday phrases, you can already communicate fluently. The same goes for programming. You don't need to understand every algorithm in existence. Focus on what allows you to build your first real projects. That essential 20% creates quick wins that motivate you to keep going. Applying this principle completely transforms how you study. You stop wasting time on what doesn't matter and direct your energy toward what produces fast, tangible progress. Here's a practical tip. Whenever you start studying something new, ask yourself, what part of this will give me the fastest, most useful results? Do that and watch how your learning speed skyrockets. But there's another essential principle to make it work even better. Learn by doing, not just by consuming. Most people fall into the trap of passive learning. They watch endless tutorials, take notes in 5 colors, highlight entire pages, but rarely practice what they study. Then they wonder why they forget everything so quickly. Here's the truth. If you don't apply what you learn, your brain deletes it. Knowledge without action is just forgotten information. To truly learn effortlessly, you have to get your hands dirty from day one. Want to learn graphic design? Don't start with endless theory. Open Canva or Figma and create something simple. Want to master Excel? Make a spreadsheet for your personal expenses. Interested in personal development? Don't just read self-help books. Apply what they teach. Try the Feynman technique or the Pomodoro method that same day. You'll realize that taking action is 1,000 times more powerful than simply understanding. Learning by doing changes everything. You learn faster, enjoy the process more, and lose the fear of failure. Progress stops being distant. It becomes something you can feel daily. Every action reinforces knowledge naturally and permanently. And when you combine that with rhythm, repetition, and strategic rest, your results multiply exponentially. One of the most common mistakes people make is trying to study everything at once, as if they were machines. But your brain doesn't work that way. To boost memory and accelerate learning, you need to balance 3 key elements: rhythm, repetition, and rest. Studying 10 hours straight won't make you smarter. Studying 1 hour a day with smart breaks will. The key is consistency, not quantity. One proven method is spaced repetition. Instead of cramming everything into one exhausting session, spread your learning into short blocks throughout the week. If you're preparing for an exam, review key concepts on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The space between sessions allows your brain to consolidate and store information long-term. This isn't magic, it's neuroscience. And never underestimate the power of sleep. Sleeping after studying is like pressing the save button in your brain. That's when your mind organizes and locks in everything you've learned. Another powerful trick is using micro-study blocks, 25 minutes of focused learning followed by a 5-minute break. This keeps your attention sharp and prevents burnout. When you combine rhythm, repetition, and rest, learning becomes not just effective, it becomes automatic. But there's still one more piece to the puzzle. One that can make everything exponentially easier: your environment. Sometimes the problem isn't you, it's what surrounds you. You can have all the motivation in the world, but if you're surrounded by distractions, your productivity collapses. People who learn new skills fast design environments that work in their favor. They silence notifications, keep their study spaces clean, and surround themselves with cues that push them forward. Self-discipline isn't about willpower, it's about strategy. For instance, if you want to read more, leave a book on your desk, one in the bathroom, and one next to your bed. If you want to study without distractions, use tools like Stay Focused or Forest. Make it harder not to study. Set visual reminders, prepare your materials ahead of time, and surround yourself with people who are also focused on growth. Your environment has more power than you think. And don't forget the emotional side. Your environment also includes what you listen to and consume daily. Fill your mind with content that inspires you to grow. Podcasts, motivational channels like this one, and books like Mindset by Carol Dweck or Atomic Habits by James Clear. Your mind is a reflection of what you feed it. So design an ecosystem that pushes you to become smarter, learn faster, and keep evolving. When everything around you works with you instead of against you, the impossible starts to feel easy. Now you know, you don't need to be a genius to learn anything. You just need to understand how to do it. Change your mindset, focus on what matters, apply what you learn, respect your rhythm, and create an environment that makes growth inevitable. When you do all that, learning stops being a chore. It becomes something natural, fluid, even enjoyable. But here's the most important part. Knowing isn't enough. You have to apply it. So tell me, are you going to keep studying the same way and expecting different results? Or are you going to start today, right now, to implement these strategies and transform the way you learn forever? Because if you do, you won't just study faster. You'll become someone new. Someone who masters new skills, who doesn't quit, who grows every single day. And believe me, that version of you is much closer than you think. If this video inspired you, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell. Here we talk about how to improve your mind, your productivity, and your entire life. And this is just the beginning. Join this real learning community, like this video, comment what skill you're learning, and share it with someone who needs that extra push. Because together we learn faster,